So let's not waste time. So shall we get started? All right, cool. Yep. Okay. So hi everyone. Good morning. Once again, welcome back to our HR series. And today is actually finally our last and final series of this HR series. So today we'll be learning about understanding the importance of boosting employee engagement for a happy and productive workforce. From Andy, who's our principal consultant of Alchemy Resources, who's also the trainer of today. Right, so this topic is actually extremely important for everyone, especially if you are in the HR department or you are even from the management team of your organization. So to come and learn more about this topic. So right, without further ado, let me hand over the session to Andy, who's our trainer for today. All right, so Andy has also been sharing with us on the previous two topics, such as on how can SME save costs and benefit from outsourcing payroll. So that has actually been covered in the first series, and then also on the second topic, which is the performance management. What is it and what are the benefits? So that was covered in the second series last week. And finally, today is our last topic, and we're learning about importance of boosting employee engagement. And if you have any questions, regarding to this topic, so feel free to type them in the comment box below, and Andy will be picking up it from there. Okay, so over to you, Andy. The stage is all yours.
Right. Okay, good morning, everyone. How is everyone? I hope you are fine. Yeah. So just to talk a little bit about us as well. Before we start, so my name is Andy. I'm a certified consultant with TUSUT, the German certification company. So besides being a management consultant, I also have my area of expertise is in performance management and learning and development. So if you have any questions pertaining to that, please feel free to send them over. Yeah. So we're very delighted to work with WorkQ to create this mini series of three talks. These series are by no means designed to help you to solve all your problems that you may have at work. It is designed primarily to give you insight as to how you can improve performance at work, how you can reduce costs, how you can engage with your employees, especially at this current COVID period, whereby we are being forced to work from home. So you will know that when you are being forced to work from home, how do you manage the performance of your employees and how do you engage them? I mean, two very fundamental questions. Yeah. So in terms of how do you manage work, we have previously talked about that in the last session for performance management. So today, we want to talk about employees engagement, specifically how do you engage your employees? Yeah. So in last week talk, we talked about using the Hertzberg theory to engage employee. So today we will expand on that. Yeah. So without further ado, let me start on with it. Okay. So we will start off, unlike the last two sessions, we will start off with highlighting some common challenges that we see. Yeah. Then after that, as usual, we will do a simple survey so that you can share with us what are some of the employee engagement issues that you face, so that we can put that into context. And if I can help to explain that to you, I will do my best to do that. And then thirdly, if you do experience employee engagement issues, that means your employees are not motivated and not engaged, then what are some of the issues, common issues that you will face? And then we will define what is employee engagement using the IES model, which is fairly similar to the Hertzberg theory on what are the three areas that you can focus on. Then we will go on to talk about 5 ways that you can do to engage your employees from a job engagement point of view. Yeah. And then number 6, we will then share with you an employee survey template that you can use so that you can implement that at your workplace and try to discover how engaged are your employees. Yeah. So, and then number 7 is a little bit about, because of what we do in performance management, we have also created a training program called what essential qualities of great managers. Okay, so with that, let me start. Okay, so what are the common challenges that you'll be facing at work due to employee engagement? What we see very often is communication. There is lack of communication between management and employees, and very often assumption that as business owner, I assume most of you are business owner here. If not business owner, or at least key position in your company that are taking decision on the business. So very often there are assumptions that you make, which if it's not being communicated with the employees, there will be gaps in what you expect of the employees and what the employee think that they should do. Okay, so clearly if there is a miscommunication or there's gaps, then the workforce will not be satisfied, they will not be motivated, and therefore loyalty is in question. And with COVID-19, what you see, which I started off with, in the opening speech, is that COVID-19 tell us that engaging employees is important, if not more important now than ever. Because why? Businesses are being disrupted. We have to work from home. We have MCO. We cannot go to the office. So how do you manage your business? So if there's no communication, and if there's no tangible measurements to measure your stuff, how are you going to conduct your business? And also with changing regulations that will change due to the situation of the number of cases. I apologize there. There's a last part, which is the use of technology. Here, it means use of technology. So you will know that there is a need to use certain technology. So how do you engage with your employees? And for most of us who are business owner of SME, very often employee engagement are something that we do not prioritize. So I recently saw a message that one of the business owner of a company writing to an employee, in a message whereby he's asking the employee, what are you doing? Not following up with the customer when the employee is actually on leave. I think there's a chat going on in the social media, right? Yeah. So very often business owner tend not to prioritize in this area, engaging with the employees. As I mentioned in last week, performance management, with Industrial Revolution 4.0, with the need to continuously digitize your business, again, it argues well that we need to prioritize employee engagement. Yeah? And then finally, you may say, hey, difficult to measure employee engagement. How to measure? Well, engage means what? Not engage means what? How to measure? Yeah. So therefore, we have provided a sample of the employee survey for you, so that you can then use it if you want to implement the survey to find out actually how engaged is your workforce. Yeah. Then you can measure. Then you know where are the areas that you can start to strategize to have some intervention strategy there. Yeah. So that these are the 4 challenges that we see SME, not just SME, maybe to a certain extent MNC face as well, how to engage with employees. Yeah. So any question here? I saw there's a question in the chat. Agree, difficult to check what employees are doing if work from home, can't be having, yes. Yeah, so those are some of the challenges that we will face. Huh? Okay, so at this moment, I will move on to the Mendi Meter again. So can I request all of you to log in to either go to menti.com and then type in the code 3253 6380 or use the QR code here to log in. So I would like to hear from you. Okay, what are the engagement issues or challenges that you face at work? Yeah, so that we can frame it and contextualize what we are talking about today. And later you can see how you can apply it using the IES model. Yeah. Okay, I would stop sharing now and go to the Mendi Meter. Are you able to see my screen now? Yeah. So yeah, please do use this Mendi Meter. We won't know who put in the information. You have up to 3. You can put in up to 3 answers. Yeah. Okay. Work performance. Employee not committed. Okay, very common. Employee productivity low. Very common also. Don't know how to measure. Yes. Don't know how to measure what. Maybe you can elaborate. Tracking. I suppose tracking means either you are talking about measuring what your employee is doing, or you are talking about measuring the employee level of engagement. So maybe you can elaborate as well. Use the Mendi Meter to put in what you think. How to attract employee? Okay, that is a little bit of talent management. Work performance. Okay. So we don't see, this is a word cloud, so we still don't see a very concentration of certain problems, but I suppose okay, don't feel belonging. Okay, so don't feel belonging. Okay, good. Not participating. Okay, don't know how to measure. So again, similar to what we talked about just now. Don't know how to measure. I will for the purpose of wow, so MIA. Okay, MIA is very common. Yeah. It depends on the level of job, I would say. Yeah, generally speaking, what we see is MIA happens for more lower level of job in the market. Yeah. Okay. Retain talent. Okay. Yes, retain talent. Unable to meet expectation. Okay. Don't feel belonging. Okay, let me put down some of the things that don't feel belong. Not committed. Okay, I think not committed and don't feel belong are similar. Productivity, don't know how to measure. Okay, measure. We have don't know how to measure. Tracking, I would say these are the 2. Lack of motivation. Okay, good. Wow, so many. Wait, lack of motivation. Not committed. Okay, lack of not committed. The same. Work performance. Do only when feel like it. Okay, not motivated, do only when feel like it. So I would say that motivation is one, do only when feel like it, not committed is another one. High turnover, yes, okay. Tracking is measure. Do not how to measure, yes, good, okay. And unable to meet expectation, okay. Okay, some of the things that you mentioned here, like for example, unable to meet expectation, you'll be very useful if you can look at our last week discussion, because that is more related to performance management, how to meeting the expectation. Employees productivity low, you can also look at last week performance management discussion as well. So I would say yes, very much what we have discussed just now. Yeah. So may I stop sharing here so that I can go on to the discussion? Okay. 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 So let's so from the simple Mendi Meter survey, right? So what you can see is really, yep. So what you can see are things like not committed, not belonging, lack of motivation, not up to your expectation, right? And difficult to measure. So those are very much what we have mentioned earlier, difficult to measure, yeah. Lack of commitment and understanding from the business owner with the employees, and lack of communication that leads to that. So as a result, what we have observed quite a lot is that, when people are lack of motivation, yeah, what you will see is two things, yeah, absenteeism, yeah, as well as turnover, yeah. Do you know there are about 5 reasons why people go on MC, yeah? Do you know how many is related to them not feeling well? Sorry, not feeling well at work. There's only one, yeah. The rest of the 4 reasons are motivation or work related. So if you face high absenteeism, is a sign that there is some employees who are not feeling engaged and not feeling motivated. Yeah? So it's a telltale sign that you're feeling that. And if you do face retention issues at workplace, this is also a telltale sign as well. Yeah. But of course, I'm not saying that this is definitely the problem, but these are telltale signs about motivation level. Yeah? So later we will talk about how to increase the job engagement level. So because they are not motivated and no morale to do work, so obviously their productivity, as some of you mentioned just now, not meeting expectation and productivity are poor because they are not motivated to perform, and as a result, they only do when they feel like doing, right? So you lead to poor quality. Okay. Then obviously, because of what is happening at this and here, you will lead to poor customer satisfaction. And because of poor customer satisfaction, you will have poor loyalty with your customers. So, and this has a direct impact to your business. So then, is employee engagement important? Clearly, employee engagement is very important. Yeah, as we also mentioned in our last discussion, especially when there is a lot of Generation Z coming into the workforce, and these generation of workers are very different from the baby boomers and the Generation X and Y. Their profile is very different from these 3 different profiles. Baby boomers. Anybody knows who are baby boomers? Anybody? Not your head or no? Yes. Baby boomers are those immediately after the war, yeah, the Second World War. Generation X, those from the 70s. So I'm from Generation X, yeah. Then Y in the 80s, yeah. And then Z are those from late 90s onwards to right now. So the profile of these workers are very different from these different generations. Yeah? So engaging them is something that you have to consider to start doing. Okay. So I talk so much about all the problems, the challenges, and then as a result, what you see at work. So what is employee engagement? Define. When we define a problem, when we define a problem statement, we always have to define what is employee engagement. It really measures the satisfaction level of your employees, how happy and how committed they are. Okay, so here I will introduce this what we call a IES model of employee engagement. So in this model, they talk about three areas: organizational citizenship, which is related to how committed are your employees to go beyond and above the call of duty. Have you experienced such a thing before? You go to some restaurants or some retail shop, you can see that, wow, this employee really go beyond the call of duty to serve you. These are very engaged employees. Yeah. So obviously, the line managers or the company is doing something very well. So therefore, this employee go beyond the call of duty. You will experience it, but unfortunately, not very often. Yeah, because not very often employees are really so engaged. Yeah. Then the motivation level. So just now, some of you has managed not motivated, not belonging. So these are what are the forces that energize and sustain this employee's behavior? So this is where the motivation level comes in. How do you motivate your employees so that they are engaged with you and also for your business? And lastly, the commitment. So the commitment is also related, it's related to the strength of the employees to be able to identify and get involved in the organization. So just now, someone managed not committed and not belonging, right? So this is what it means, the commitment level of the employees, okay? So here I will share 5 ways so that you can start to implement them and help to improve the engagement at work. These are related to job engagement. Okay, so there is another area that you also need to consider, which is under the Herzberg theory. They talk about 2 factors. The first factor is job factor. The second factor is what he called the hygiene factor, which is work related. How is your workplace? How are your workplace policies? Things like that will disengage employees. So today we are focusing more on job engagement. Yeah. The first thing that we talk about here is line managers. Yeah. Line managers are actually a very key component of your workforce. If your line managers are good and they know how to motivate employees, then the workforce will be there to will be engaged and will be there to fight for you. So line managers, are your line managers well trained to engage your employees? Yeah, are you empowering them to do that? So some of the things that they can consider doing is having regular feedback, and so that the regular feedback session, like internally, what we do is we have a regular weekly check-in session, we call them. Those regular check-in sessions are really to ask them how they are doing, because work may keep on flowing in. Do we need to prioritize them? Very often business owner just keep on loading the work without reprioritizing it. So can you see the poor employee? How will you feel if you feel that your bucket keep on filling up? You don't know which one to do first. You don't know which one is more important than the other. So having this regular session is very important. Yeah. So again, like what we have mentioned in the last session, using productivity tools like Trello, Asana, Slack, So use those productivity tools to help you. Job design or job redesign. So design the job that suits the employee. Yeah. Focus on their strength and then help them to find meaning in their work. So that is where, as we mentioned earlier, not committed, not belonging. This is about commitment level. Is the employee able to find meaning in their work? Yeah. So that will help you to improve your level of engagement. So another thing that's related to commitment is learning and development. Okay. Does the employee know that they are being valued? And then do they have the opportunity to learn and grow? So these will also impact their level of commitment. Okay. Use policies to focus on job flexibility. What it means is that allow them to grow in their role by focusing on their strength, as I mentioned earlier. One thing I want to expand a little bit here is that why do we focus on strength? Conventional wisdom in performance management talk about, okay, we appraise them, we identify their weakness, their area of poor performance. Okay, then we send them for training and ask them to keep on training until they're good at it. Okay, now, have you ever thought about it for yourself? Okay, every one of us has got weakness. Yeah, every one of us. We have strength in certain area and we have weakness in certain area. Can you tell me, ask yourself this question, how are you doing in terms of your own weakness? Very often, when we try our best on our weakness, yeah, very often the performance is still not very good. But when we focus on our strength, which means our key ability, for example, my strength is in learning, for example, yeah, I will put in a lot of effort and passion in learning. Okay, because I enjoy doing that, and I will go above and beyond when it comes to learning. I will spend time to research, get in more articles, get in more research articles that I can read and try to expand my knowledge. What are my weaknesses? I tend to have bad habit in terms of doing some housekeeping. So these are my weaknesses. No matter how much I try, I still have things lying around the office. So if I focus on my weakness and try to fill it, I will struggle because I think that I need to spend a lot of energy to do it. I drag my feet. Whereas if I focus on my strength, I don't need to drag my feet and I can feel that I'm doing better and better. Okay, yeah. So this is what we mean by focusing on your employee's strength. Find out what are their strengths. So the fourth and the fifth one are using performance management. So last week we have already talked about what are some of the performance management strategies that you can use to improve your performance at work. The most important part is alignment, aligning your business needs to the employee's task. Yeah. A lot of business owner have a misconception that, oh, annual appraiser is my performance management. Yeah. Annual appraiser is only a subset of performance management. Okay. When you do performance management, when do you typically do it? Beginning of the year, 2-3 times along the year, or at the end of the year? I would say that most of us do it at the end of the year, right? Am I right? Yeah. You think it's too late or too early to do that? Someone is not performing, I only tell the person at the end of the year. It's most of the time too late, yeah? When you have performance appraiser at the end of the year, it is usually too late already. A better way would be align your business need to the employee's task, okay? And then use a strategy to review them along the way. Every month, review them. And you will see that you're actually driving future performance, not looking back and say that you are not performing well. You want to drive future performance. You want to drive future performance so that you can see that your business is growing, not the other way around. Trying to troubleshoot to find out what went wrong. So performance management should be that you align what you need for your business, make sure your employees are doing them, and then using tools and strategies to keep on tracking it so that you know that they are on track, you know that your business is performing, rather than only do it at the end of the year. It is way too late already. Yeah. And then lastly, develop engagement using rewards and recognition. Very cliche, very what a lot of companies are doing. But how do you use reward and recognition in combination to improve engagement? And do you know the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic reward and recognition? Some people are motivated by extrinsic rewards. Others, which are self-motivating, they are more motivated by intrinsic motivation. So we have developed a profiling tool that allows you to do that profile so that you know each employee, what are they motivated by, intrinsic or extrinsic way. Yeah. Okay. So we have used the IES model. So let us now try to see where the alignment is. Building organization citizenship among your employees starts with your line manager. The line manager will be able to build trust with the employee, and this one will motivate them to perform beyond the call of duty. Commitment. We talk about, some of you mentioned staff are not committed and not belonging. Yeah. So use job design and learning and development to align with the employee's commitment level. Okay. Help them to find meaning in their job. Or are they just doing it because you ask them to do it? Yeah, because this commitment level will then compound together with the organization citizenship to really build experientially superior customer service, customer satisfaction. And motivation here, just now, a lot of you mentioned lacking in motivation and not meeting your expectation. Have you as a business look at performance management? Are your business needs aligned to the tasks that the employees need to do in order to give you that business result? And then if they are performing, are you rewarding them accordingly? Yeah. So chances are these are not aligned along the way, right? So that's why you are seeing some disengagement, and that's why you are seeing not 100% performance that you want. Yeah. Okay. So then, in the survey just now, some of you also mentioned, "Wow, don't know how to track and don't know how to measure." Yeah. So this is a very simple 8-question employee template that I have for you today. This is not my work. This is done by this gentleman called Marcus Buckingham. So he is a consultant at Gartner, and then he, together with Ashley, has developed this 8-question survey to help to measure the level of engagement in your workforce. So you can see these 8 questions correspond to these 4 areas that they are trying to measure. They're trying to measure the sense of purpose of what the employees are doing, the level of commitment. Do they find meaning in their work, right? And also aligning the common notion between the company objective and what they are doing. Okay. Thirdly, in order for your employee to feel attached to the company, are they feeling a sense of safety psychologically? If they do, then if they don't feel any danger, then of course they will stay, right? It's very simple, but how do you do that? Okay. And then what is their confidence level in terms of their own future in the company? Do they feel confident that they have a bright future in the company? Do you remember we talked about learning and development? They know that how they are being developed in the organization to grow and contribute to the company. So use this question, create a survey. If you don't know how to do it, we can help you. We can help you to create a survey and then and then after that, analyze where are the areas that you need to work on. Okay. So here I have to do a little bit of sharing in terms of the content. So I mentioned earlier that I'm a facilitator and also content developer. So we have developed a course called Essential Quality of Great Managers. Remember, one of the ways to improve employee engagement is line managers. So here, this course is targeted at the line managers. How do you empower your line managers to actually engage with your employees, right? There are 7 learning outcomes in this course. It teaches your line managers how to focus on the employee strength. And also it trains your manager to identify the 3 important components to drive performance. Once you find out the strength, okay, the question is, we will have the profiling tool to help you to find out what are the employee strengths. Then after that, how you leverage on this strength, right? I mentioned earlier, the best that we can do, the best that we can improve on our weakness will not be good enough for someone that weakness is a strength, right? If you are continuously focusing on weakness in your workforce, then they will, in my opinion, not performing up to your expectation, because they are trying their best to improve on their weakness. But on the other hand, if you focus correctly on their strength, then you will see better results. Okay, then the next thing is how to motivate them. Find out. The profiling tool is a 3-in-1 profiling tool. It will profile their strengths. It will profile what motivates them, intrinsic or extrinsic, or do they like to be motivated by the boss feedback on them or the customers. So various motivational triggers. And lastly, you know what they lack. How do you train them? Every one of us have different learning style. How do you train them based on the right learning style, right? If I'm an audio person, asking me to watch video will not really help me in terms of the learning process. Yeah. So yeah, just give you a snapshot of what this course is all about. Yeah. And if you have interest, do contact us. Yeah. So finally, we prepare articles on a regular basis on our website. So you can go to alchemyconsultancy.asia/performance management to find out more about some of our content that we produce on a regular basis. Okay. And then a little bit more about ourselves for those who are not here. We are award-winning provider of payroll services, business process outsourcing, and consultancy services. And I myself, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a certified consultant, certified by TUSUD, and also have expertise in performance management and learning and development. Okay, so if you have anything, please do drop us a note, okay, or you can drop Wan Ning a note, okay. Okay, that's all we have. So right now, open to questions. Do you all have any questions? Okay, shall we go to the chat element there and start to answer some questions? Or you have any other question? You know, can they ask the question here, Wan Ning?
Yes, they can. Yeah. So I think we have few questions from the floor. Right. So I think maybe we can answer it now.
Okay.
So Tiffany, yeah, I can help to read out questions. So Tiffany actually asked like, what is the secret at engaging with passive employee, especially when it comes to engagement?
So Tiffany, I think when you say passive employee means employees that are not motivated, yeah. So one thing I would suggest you to do is to start at aligning what the one area is aligning the business needs to what the tasks of the employees. Yeah, are they properly aligned? Number two, about focusing on strength. Yeah, are you focusing on the strength of the employee or are you focusing on the weakness? Because if my personal belief is if we focus on the strength of the employee, that itself, if you are aware, it drives the dopamine loop. It creates dopamine in your mind, and then it drives you forward. So these are the two areas I would suggest, looking at aligning your business needs to their tasks. And then they are not motivated, they are not motivated, so you need to motivate them by focusing on their strength and implement the right reward system for them. So these are the three areas I would suggest. Did I manage to answer your question, Tiffany?
Okay, she said yes.
Yes,
All right.
okay, thank you, Tiffany. Yeah, so let's go to CG Tan. Can give example, may I know example of what? Maybe you can elaborate here.
The example of intrinsic and extrinsic.
Okay, yeah, okay. So it's the same as AI Chan, yeah. Example of intrinsic. Okay, intrinsic motivation usually come from within. If we look at the Maslow 5 level of needs. So what I would say intrinsic is some people are intrinsically motivated to do a good job. So you have to identify that. Some people are motivated by customer praises, right? Some are motivated to be subject matter expert. Like for example, I am motivated by subject matter expertise. I like people to say that, oh, I'm an expertise in this area. Then, have you heard of Quora? Quora is a social media platform whereby you ask a question and subject matter expert will then tell you, give you answers to your question. So it is very similar concept, focusing on the subject matter expertise. For some people, this is very important. Yeah. So usually you will see such people like researchers, people who spend copious amount of time to increase their own knowledge in the certain areas. Yeah. Extrinsic motivation, quite straightforward. Yeah. Some are motivated by money. Some are motivated by Employee of the Year award, right? Because they like to show that. Yeah. So those are some of the extrinsic motivations. Yeah. Okay. Did I manage to answer your question? CG, yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So yes, yes, Tiffany. Yeah, welcome. So the next one is if employee is introvert and they are part of sales team. Okay. Oh, sorry, AL. Not AI. Yeah. I'm also AL. Yeah, and Dilo. Okay. Yes. So AL. If you are focusing on this employee who is an introvert and is doing sales and marketing, then I think, as what I mentioned earlier, you are not really focusing on the strength of this person. Yeah. So what I would suggest you to do is start to develop the skill map about what you need in terms of sales and marketing, the tasks that they need to perform, and then try to then align to the skill set that they need. Maybe this person is not suitable for outdoor sales, but maybe this person is suitable for digital marketing, whereby they can use, in any case, nowadays, digital marketing is very, very important, right? It overtakes, cold calling, it overtakes visiting customer to generate leads, right? Yeah. So maybe you can focus on that. And if that fails, then in the training that we have developed, that means this is the weakness of this person, then you should avoid uh, assigning this introvert person to do this sales and marketing job. I hope I managed to answer your question. Did I manage to answer your question, Ariel? Yes, Tiffany, yeah, Cora, yes. Look at Cora, ask, thank you, Ariel, yeah. Yeah, Cora, how Cora works is if you ask a question, and then subject matter expert will answer your question, okay? And these subject matter experts are motivated by the number of, they call it upvote that they receive. The more upvote that they receive means that the more people agree with them for the knowledge and what they say. So something very interesting, yeah. So you can consider having a look at Cora, yeah. Okay, any more questions? Hi, Camila. For engagement activities, non-work related activities, employees are not keen to participate. Okay. So, okay. I'm assuming that you are trying to do a team building activities, and then some of these employees are not motivated to join, right? Did I understand this question correctly, Camila? Okay. Yes. So clearly, there will be people, yeah, in our workforce, who are just not engaged, okay. In a global survey done by this Marcus Buckingham and Ashley Goodall, the survey you can get from ADP. You can go to ADP website and then Google for it, and then you look at the survey. Do you know what level of engagement does most companies have? Less than 15%, yeah. Only less than 15%. Okay. Of course, there are variation within male, female, white collar, blue collar, and all those. But in general, the level of motivation is at a low 10s or 20%. Yeah. So sometimes we have to accept that some employees just come for the benefit of such salary. So then sometimes I'm going to the last no solution anymore. But if not, what I would suggest is explain the purpose of doing team building for them so that they understand why they are participating in the first place. Yeah, because if you don't explain the purpose of doing something, employees will feel that, oh, why are you asking me to do this? After doing team building, still need to do OT to complete my job. That's how they will think, not thinking in your shoes whereby you are helping to build team cohesiveness in the first place. They think that is additional job for them. So hope managed to explain this to you. Did I manage to answer your question, Camilla? Okay, thank you. Yeah. So AL is I am not so familiar with Slido. I haven't used it so much. But there are many tools available nowadays. Mendi Meter, it's used primarily for conducting polls. May I know what do you want to achieve, AL, in terms of using Slido? There are many tools available. Maybe I can share some tools for you. Okay, interactivity. Yeah. I mean, if Slido does that, then it's the same. So you can create that. Yeah. So there are really a lot of tools out there. Sometimes I use Google Slides. Yeah, because Google Slides, you can invite the participant, or even Google Word for that matter, or even Google Sheet, because that allows all the participants to log in and then update at the same time. So it achieves the same objective. Yeah. Did I manage to answer your question? So, AL, if you are thinking of doing interactivity for participants, I'm not sure whether are you facilitating something or are you doing brainstorming. So there are various things you can do. Yeah, if you are asking for brainstorming, if you want to do a brainstorming session, it's very different from doing a facilitation on a discussion session. Yeah, brainstorming, don't withhold anything. As a facilitator, don't say no, 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 no. Brainstorming, don't say no. Brainstorming is say whatever you want because you want to have as many ideas as possible. Discussion, frame, contextualize it. Are you framing the problem correctly? Then give detailed instruction on how they should work on it. Yeah. Then use tools like Miro, Slido. There are lots of tools available nowadays for free. Yeah. Hope I answer your question, AL. Yeah. Feels like I'm talking to myself, AL. Okay, any more questions? Thank you, AL. Yeah, if no, then I hand it over back to Wani.
All right, thanks, Andy. Anyone here? You guys do have any questions to ask Andy? We have like 3 minutes left before we wrap up today's session. Any more questions before we end? All good? All right, okay. All right, so yeah, so thank you, Andy, once again for sharing with us again yet another informative topic, on importance of boosting employee engagement. All right, so we hope everyone today here has learned something from Mendi. All right, so yeah, that's the end of our mini HR series that we have covered from the past weeks. All right, so
Wan Ning, just want to have something as a parting words. Yeah. So,
okay.
so as with HR intervention strategies, yeah, it doesn't turn a switch, so to speak. Yeah, that means you implement, then the next day you see result. Yeah, it's an ongoing process of implementing it, evaluating it, seeing what changes need to be made. But I can assure you, if you start with small projects, your staff will feel it, they will reciprocate, and if you do the right thing, you will see the right results. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Andy. All right, yeah, so like what I mentioned earlier, so if let's say any of you here missed the previous sessions or even today's session, so don't worry because we'll be sharing the recording to everyone to your email after this. All right, we will also be uploading the recordings for all these 3 sessions on our YouTube channel. So all you need to do is just stay tuned to our YouTube channel, all right, at Work Co-working Space. All right, so once again, thank you, Andy, and also to Alchemy Resources for today. And if you would like to know more about Alchemy Resources, so just check them out on their website at alchemyconsultancy.asia, or you can also contact Andy directly. All right, so to know more what's next from work, so all you need to do is just stay tuned to our social media on our Facebook, LinkedIn, and also on Instagram at work_WORQ. And we'll have more upcoming interesting events.
Wan Ning, can I put my
Yes.
email on the chat so that
Yes.
they wish? Yeah. So I'll just type in my email if you need
Go
to
ahead.
contact me.
Go ahead, Andy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's ASIA, not ASOA. Yeah.
.asia. Okay. All right. So yeah. So that's Andy's email. If you have any questions, or would like to understand more about Alchemy Consultancy, so reach out to him. liuwh_alchemyconsultancy.asia. That's Andy's email. All right. So thank you once again, and thank you everyone for joining us today. So,
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for spending the time with us. Thank you. Yeah.
all right, thank you everyone. So let's end today's session and hope to see everyone in our next session in our upcoming events as well. Thank you. Stay safe. Bye-bye.